started. Hopefully Dr. Tucker will make it in a little bit. And first thing, we can get through some of the paperwork details. And the first thing is going to be discussion and action on the minutes from March the 21st, 2018. Anybody has any corrections?
I move that we accept the minutes from March 21st.
Second.
Terry,
Aye.
Juanita,
Aye.
Norman.
Aye. Next will be the financial report.
Okay.
And Jody, you're up.
All right. Starting off, we have $640,525.44. $1,000 to the promotional video. $14,965 to the Back to You marketing. $4,000 for the Alva Chamber of Commerce Northwest Oklahoma Visitor Center. $15,000 to the Alva Fire Department training. $26,300 to the Big Cruise and Car Show. $14,250 to the 2018 Asatunga Arts Festival. $15,005 to the Wings Over the Prairie Alva Race Classic. $6,000 to the Northwest Oklahoma Junior Rodeo Association. $2,500 for the Advertising and Promotions Committee for printing promotions. $500 for future, $2,500 for standing, which leaves us with $538,505.44.
If you look at your quarterly tourism tax report, one kind of encouraging thing is that our second quarter, which ended December 31st of this year, was within $700 of the previous year. So
So it didn't go down anymore?
yeah, going down is what I want to say. It kind of bottomed out.
Yeah.
And that did look like, just from cars in the parking lot, that wasn't a bad quarter going on. And on the next meeting, we should have the March one, I would think, by then. March results.
Did we discuss something last time about the missing, like with the hotels? Some of those that were missing? What, seems like there was a question about that. I was curious about it. For instance, on Hotel 7,
That is a
What
bed and
was
Say bed and
breakfast.
breakfast.
A bed and
okay,
breakfast.
So they probably didn't have anything.
like the Hotel 8 and 9.
Probably also a bed and breakfast,
Yeah.
maybe. I think your main hotels are 1 through 5 and 10 through 12. 4 through 6 maybe. I don't know what 6 is. I used to know.
And one of those was the, at one point,
Oh, the budget, the Alva Motel.
right, and then
They're not
also,
open right now, so-
they're not open, and then also the bed and breakfast that was across from the middle
Oh,
school
yes.
was one of those.
That blue one.
Yeah.
So that's probably 7 or 9. Since they haven't had it reported for a long time, you know. There he is.
Welcome. Just discussing the financial report, and you probably looked at it. If you have any questions, now's the time. We'll make a motion to approve this thing.
Question.
Okay.
Last month, we had 509,000 available,
Okay.
and we funded, or I don't know, when we funded, but we approved however many thousand. And now we've got a $538,000 not sure how that transpired. It should have gone down, and should have up.
Okay. I mean,
Look,
it kind of,
also, well, one thing I can see is that there has been some more, if you look at last month's tax receipts and this month's tax receipts.
That went up 12,000, I think, or something, what I saw.
Yeah, the tax receipts went up considerably.
But not enough to cover that, though.
No.
Not to take it to 38,000. That was my concern. Because it's in at 538,000, and that was what's available, something like that, as I recall.
You were correct.
Yeah, 538, 505. And when I could tell what was added, it wasn't there last month, it amounted to about $12,000.
Did
This time.
anything drop off that maybe we didn't have to pay?
Pardon me?
Was there anything that was set to pay that we decided that dropped off, maybe? You know what I'm saying?
Because that,
Or it went down, maybe they turned in, it was supposed to be 20,000 and they only spent 10,000 or something like that, you know? How that happens sometimes. I mean, it's just a
yeah.
number out there.
I mean,
We look at on March.
well, like, we paid out the Bull Battle, we paid out the OML,
Well, from
Last
the March,
meeting's
what we
expenses.
received.
and then we
was
paid
still
like
down.
the 2,000 for
Was
the
about this time.
Alva Chamber of Commerce to the Northwest Oklahoma Visitor Center. We paid out the ARC shade structure. I mean, as of right now, and then I just had Norval sign the Alva Regional Jackpot. So, I mean, all of these probably gonna be here for
For March.
a while.
So I'm trying to find that sheet. Here it is for March, right? This is it for March. So we need to take this was under the March tab. So
Mine says 509.
is this a different sheet under my March tab?
Here's my March tab. It says 509,700. That's what it's available.
This is a different sheet.
Yeah, just like
Okay. So this is the current, what are the dates? June 21st?
What's the city of Alva balance of construction?
All right, mine's not date.
For 10,000, it's not, it was outstanding last month, but it's not on there this month.
these are
That was the
Your
stretch, ARC shade structure.
And we paid 10,000 to them?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Well, you gotta add to, if you look at, I think you got to finish. There's, there's, like you got 3,000 more here, okay? And you got 10,000, maybe no, you got 3,000 more here, from 7 to 10. Okay, so that'd be 6,000, and then we got 6,000 here from 12 to 18, and we say so, that's about 12,000 or something, but, we're ending up with, like I say, we went from 509 available last time, and we approved. What was it? We had a request for $8,500, and I think we approved both of those, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. So that'd almost be a wash. There's something, but I don't see how they come up with those figures.
No, I'm just looking at the cash in the bank. Well, I understand, I see what you're talking about. But these numbers here, all these things were already out of this amount here.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm just talking about what's available last time in March and today. You know, we're saying we've still got 538,000 when we collected 12,000 more that wasn't paid, taxes that were paid, which would take that up to 500, maybe 21 or 22. So there's about $16,000 there. That's, I don't know.
Well, I can't find that 10,000 anywhere. I see it back here where it says the balance of construction. So was it paid last month? Because this is just an outstanding amount.
Or maybe the check didn't go through.
I can't
but
find where
we
it's.
did the. I mean, we.
Okay, I just don't see where it's on the, we wrote a check for it anywhere.
I mean, it could have been right before, you know.
So it's not on this month and it's not on last month except for just the outstanding amount. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I
that's
see what you're
10,000.
saying. So that could easily
That could be
be.
part of it.
I mean, how the checks were wrote, that could
Yeah.
easily have what it happened.
Saying this, the construction for the shade, 10,000 right here from last month. It's never anywhere where we paid it out, or where it's outstanding, or where we paid it this month. So that's bull
And
crap.
and that was part of
So
my
it's
$2,000.
not on both. It's somewhere, but it's not on both.
In other words, we've signed off on it
Yeah,
to be
but-
paid, but the
yes.
city hasn't issued the check and
So we have
pulled it out of
subtracted
our
it
account.
from, so it should still be included in the outstanding amount for this month, 10,000. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but even that.
But it's not enough, but
That's not enough.
that's-
There's still a problem.
Yeah,
It's not
there's
enough.
still more somewhere.
Yeah,
And there may be
yeah.
another
I think
one.
we just need to table it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Until
Okay.
we get
Okay,
it clear,
that
because we
sounds
can't
good.
really approve it like that.
Yeah.
You're right.
And I was gonna say, I need to get updated. So I've got the older paperwork and I don't know, in my March. I just need to
Has
get
the
copies.
community leadership development, does it show up as paid?
Have that.
See what you say.
Well, I was asking her, there's
I don't
several of those
think
that may
so.
not have showed up that have been
And
signed
like
up,
I
but
said, the
don't
checks
show
could have
us.
No,
been,
it
you
does
know,
not.
that's easily
So
what
that's
could
another
have happened. The checks,
$2,150.
Yeah.
So we're at 12.
But our available is what we really got available to give, should be.
Right,
Regardless.
Well, you
So
know
our
what?
available is
You
wrong.
know what?
We need to take 1,200, 12,000 or.
I know, I think I know what you're, okay. We wrote a big check to the marketing.
To who?
Back to you.
Yes, we did. That's probably what it is.
That was 29,000.
No, 14. It's like 14 something, yeah. It's like 14, blah, blah, blah.
14,965.
Yeah. So
But
that
was
one,
already, it was already on the book.
But it's
so
here.
We were gonna give
It's
it
on
away.
both.
but I don't know if the check's been, I mean,
But you can still see it on both
okay,
sides.
okay. I
The
don't
other
know.
one
That
you
was
can,
like
can't. It's like if it's on one and then it just disappears. Like it just hasn't been.
process, maybe. I don't know.
So
We'll look into
Let's
it.
table it.
We'll look into it because it could be
I agree.
something like, yeah.
I move that we table the financial report from April 2018, whatever the date is, sorry, let me find the date. April 18th, 2018. Okay, second.
Charles,
Aye.
Juanita, Terry,
Aye.
Norval.
All right. Okay. Next is discussion action on the 22nd annual NWSU football golf tournament, not to exceed $5,000.
I'm up right on the floor. Is that correct?
You're up.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Well, appreciate you guys having me. This is my second year to come before you guys and ask you for some tourism tax dollars to offset our operating costs for our golf tournament for Northwestern Oklahoma State University football. It's actually our 22nd year. It's the fourth year I've actually been in charge of it. And, we set in conjunction with the Nescatunga so that more of our entrants into the auction and golf tournament will bring their spouses and bring their families to enjoy the whole of what Alva has to offer. So I'm asking for $5,000 to offset the rising costs and some of the costs that we incur with all the out-of-towners that come to our tournament. About 60 to 70% of our entrants are from out of town and do have to stay the night for up to 2 nights, sometimes 3, depending on Saturday, how late they stay Saturday. So anyway, I thank you for your consideration and open up to you for any questions you might have about, our event.
Are you expecting the same amount as last year?
That'll be more, I'm almost positive it'll be more. Last year we ran into some, I'm not gonna say problems, but we had 3 weddings that happened that weekend that aren't gonna happen with normal participants. I've had over 200 every year, 200 either participate in the auction and the golf tournament. We can actually hold 144 players in the tournament, but obviously with their wives, spouses, families, and the auction the night before. The auction the night before is actually where we get the donations. The actual tournament we don't make any money on really, but that's what draws a lot of the people to the auction as well. So it's like I said, we expect more this year than last year, and last year I think we had a total of 210, but it's always been over 200 since I've had it. So before me, I don't know exactly what the numbers were, but the least we've had was last year, and it was 210, I believe, total. So, and the percent is different every year. I try to do a percentage. I don't have like data studies or anything on it. As a coach, I'm a statistics guy, but to the percentage of who's from out of town and who's from Alva, and a majority of them are from out of town. So it's a lot of the alumni that come back that played here. And that's our big draw, because they're going to come twice a year. They're going to come to homecoming. They're going to come to this event. Those are the 2 they come to.
I will say that we have people that stay with us every single year for this. So it's a big deal for these alumni football players. So I will throw that out there for you.
Thank you.
If anybody else has any more questions or anything,
I move to approve the request not to exceed 5,000.
second.
A motion and a second.
Juanita,
Aye.
Terry,
Aye.
Charles, Norval.
Aye.
Good. Thank you all so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
Keep up the good work.
Yes, sir. I will. I appreciate you.
Make them extend the golf course to 18 holes.
Just remember, if they let me do that, it'd help me a lot. Honestly. So I'll see what Larry and those guys can do. See if they'll prove that. So thank you guys.
Thanks.
Discussion and action on Alva's Crazy Cool Boulevard Cruise, not to exceed $3,750.
It's me. My name's Jeff Rohr, and I'm with the Race Club here in Alva. Let's see. We've done this cruise now for 3 years, I believe. It's just kind of a nostalgia style cruise night up and down the boulevard here. Last year we had, I believe we had we had 2 live bands. We had 1 band set up right here at the stoplight where 281 meets 64, and then the other one was at O'Reilly's. Had food vendors, and last year we drew cars from Wichita, Enid. There's a big motorcycle group that always comes in. But anyway, it's just a pretty neat event, and course, but it draws several people, several cars. It seems like every year there's something that we haven't seen or haven't had. There's new people coming every year. So we're requesting the $3,750 to put that on again this year. Any questions I can answer for you, I'll try my best to do so.
What's your long-term plans?
Long-term plans, just keep getting bigger and bigger. Maybe a 2-day cruise. Enid has one on, what do they call that? The Van Buren Cruise, which is held in June, and it's a 2-day deal. So that would be all-time gold for me anyway.
We're seeing people schedule their family reunions and class reunions around it and stuff.
Yeah, and that's something else. We always put this Crazy Cool Boulevard Cruise. It's in conjunction with the Crazy Days down here in Alva, down here around the squares.
They've got food vendors of any kind.
Yeah, last year we had, I think we had 3 food vendors set up down the boulevard, food trucks.
And the snow cone stand.
And a snow cone stand. May or may not have already been there.
Is your request more or less than?
I believe this is the same amount we requested last year.
I think it's less,
I
isn't it?
think it is less, because it said that you requested up to 4,500 in the past.
Can't believe it is.
3,500 to 4,500.
3,500, 4,500. And our request this year is 3,750. So have that here. How much?
So did you say you're gonna have 2 bands again this year, or
That's
that's the
to my
plan?
knowledge. That's our plan.
Where do you get the bands from?
Oh, the one band that comes is from Enid. I'm not sure, where was the band that was at O'Reilly's from this last year? More, do you remember? They were from Enid also.
So they play like.
I tell you, there couldn't have been 2 more opposite bands. It was really kind of funny because the band that was set up down here on the corner, they kind of played, Beach Boys and
50, 60.
some 50s, 60s stuff like that. And this group that was down here at O'Reilly's, was definitely some newer material.
Where was the bigger crowd?
People at the vanilla bean are asking the college if they can have a band there afterwards, so we'd have 3 bands.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be a good place.
I tell you, the crowd deal is just, of course, there's an age difference, but I wouldn't say that there was any less people at one spot than the other.
I move that we approve $3,750 for the cruise, what's it called?
Crazy Cool Boulevard.
Crazy Cool Boulevard Cruise. Not to exceed $3,750.
We have a motion and a second.
Juanita,
Aye.
Charles, Terry,
Aye.
Norval.
All right.
Thank you all very much.
Next item is discussion and action on concrete pad for the big cruise and car show. Not to exceed $6,000.
You need one of these, Mrs. Marshall.
Okay. I'm Joe Phillips, the director, co-director of the Big Cruise and Car Show and a member of the race club, which really the race club is who I'm representing here today. One thing I will say is I was before Dr. Tucker come in, I was kind of excited to hear that the numbers were up a little bit, because the last time I was here, it was lower than the 530 some thousand. So anyway, that was encouraging news. Hopefully, that the motels will keep getting more and more people here to increase this money. Obviously, you have more people coming in probably every time you have a meeting asking for money. So hopefully we'll be able to fund those. The race club is kind of, I guess, developed a little bit of a snag with and I think it's a great problem, but the square downtown, obviously you saw they had the new blacktop on the north side last year, and they're putting new blacktop on the south side this year. And we would like to make sure that the car club, the race club, the car show does not tear up that blacktop. So what we're trying to do in conjunction with the city of Alva is to make a pad for our events over on the south side, which they actually have torn that up already. And they're kind of in limbo, waiting a little bit for us to make sure that we have money to help out with that. But we're going to we would like to put a concrete pad, which is about 40, I'm not sure, 46 it says, 46 feet wide, which would be about from the parking area to parking area on the north or the south and the north side of that street, which is Barnes Street. Is that right? That's Barnes, isn't it? Yes, Barnes Street. Okay, so anyway, about 46 feet wide, and we would like to have enough money to be able to go about 80 feet long. Now, that would cover most everything except for our race is about 150 feet. My question to the race club whenever we were talking about this was, well, if it's 150 feet, and we're only going to have 80 feet, is that going to be a big issue? And they said, well, with two different types of material. We're talking about starting on concrete and going to a blacktop. And they said, well, when you're playing baseball and you hit a baseball and it goes from the grass to the dirt, it's kind of the same scenario. It's really not that big of a deal, I guess. I guess there are a lot of places that have concrete pads to start with, and they go to the blacktop. So anyway, that's what our plan is, to make about an 80-foot long pad there. It would start out at concrete. We can do our race on there. We can do our, which like I said is 150-foot drag races. We can do our burnout on that concrete, and we can also start our autocross on that concrete. It would start about somewhere in the middle area of Bell Hotel, and then head to the east from there. So about 80 feet. It's the finances for that on the back page there. It's going to run about $31,000, $32,000. A breakdown of revenue from that. The city of Alva is actually going to, do the work as far as the labor goes. They would have to go in and tear up some of the underlayment of what's on there right now, which they've already taken the blacktop up. But one of the reasons they were going to take that blacktop up was to see what was going to be underneath there, to find out how much work it was actually going to be. But anyway, they're going to do that part of it, the labor part. The race club has came up with about $4,300 in donations specifically earmarked for that project right now. And the race club, if we come up with no more money, then the race club would come up with the $1,700. But I think our donations, we will end up coming up with more than that. We have a few people right now, they're in limbo. And I shouldn't say they're in limbo. I think maybe it was a little bit maybe my fault not going and getting the answer yes or no for that to start with. But anyway, another $1,700. We're asking for $6,000 from the tourism department to complete that. I just think, is it something that is a necessity that has to absolutely be done? No, probably not. But I think we will make the citizens of Alva a whole lot happier. And I know it'll take some of the relief off of race club members if something does get torn up with that new blacktop, which I don't want that to happen. You can see, times now that after we get finished with the blacktop area itself, with the burnouts, there becomes some areas that have to be passed from the city. So if we have concrete, that will not happen. And another thing I failed to mention was that concrete not only will be 46 feet wide and 80 feet long, but also about 7.5 inches deep. There is no rebar that will be used, simply because if later on if there was a water leak or something underneath there, it's a lot easier to take that concrete out without having the rebar. So from what my understanding is, not putting the rebar in there will not be an issue. So anyway, we're asking for $6,000. I'd be happy to entertain any questions.
I think it's a great idea. I would wonder if the city has looked at putting in new water lines and things before they ever put concrete down, so that hopefully that's 80 years from now that they would have problems under the concrete.
I'm gonna move up a little bit because there's a fan or something and I can't hardly hear.
I do know that the city doesn't use, and I don't know that there's even water lines right
Yeah, I
there,
don't know either.
but they don't use rebar in any of their concrete for that very reason. None of the concrete that they pour, and they pour a special high mix,
Yes.
extra strength concrete.
Yes, that was something I know that they mentioned, that the quality of concrete is much better than just, something that would be put down.
It's much more expensive too,
Yes.
the
Well, I know
concrete.
in college in front of my office, there's a sewer line right down through the center of the road,
Right.
and they have problems with that.
Is that a concrete pad there, or is it,
No,
it's
it's
asphalt?
asphalt. I'm
Right.
just saying, once you get concrete down, you got to
Correct.
go
I
in there and
understand.
cut it up, it's not a, and I can think of it, there ought to be something that at least is addressed.
Was that kind of interesting? I looked at where they pour the black top up over here, and there is concrete underneath there. Old, really nasty concrete, but there was concrete there.
I noticed though in front of Bell Hotel, it was kind of more of a gravel mix in front of that place there, which I thought was interesting because, they actually went down far enough to see that it was a gravel mix there. So I don't know for sure about that.
That'd be good. It'd be easier for them to take that up with the concrete.
Yes, that's what I was thinking, exactly. It'd be a lot easier than jackhammering concrete out to have to go in there, because they're obviously going to have to make it a lot deeper. It's going to be 7.5 inches deep right there. Well, they said the depth of a 2x8, yeah, so about 7.5 inches.
I can't believe you buy that much concrete for it. I think it'd take it 31,000 just for the concrete.
I asked that same question.
7.5 inches deep, that's a lot of dough.
It's a lot of concrete, but you can do about 42 square foot to the yard at 7.5 inches.
So is that something they could look into when they, I understand what you're saying. They would definitely need to look and see how old that pipe and stuff, if it's right there, I guess, but so
You got to expose it, it makes sense.
the city would,
Couldn't
Most
cost
likely.
But
nothing.
they're gonna have the whole street exposed. I don't know what they'll do on that. The city's dealing with this.
Well, it's a lot different tearing up asphalt than it is concrete.
Yeah.
So,
So is concrete safer than asphalt for like your burnouts and your start of your driveways and everything?
If it's safer, I would say it's going to be safer. It's
Maybe not.
It's not gonna throw rocks.
right. It's going to be, but it's also going to be the longevity of it.
More desirable for that type of
Yes, yes.
thing, okay.
I really wish we had funds to, make it even 200 feet. If we had to make it 200 feet, you're going to eliminate that little bit of area that you're going to go from concrete to blacktop. But really you are, but you aren't, because sooner or later you're going to run into blacktop. Even if we go all the way down to the co-op area, they're going to run into blacktop. But and I am not a race car driver. Jeff would be more into that, and Norva would be more into that. But I guess there's a lot of areas that have a concrete pad to start with that goes into blacktop.
A lot of racetracks that way. In fact, most of them can't afford to have a whole concrete things, so they'll have,
Start watching
just have a lot
Most of your
of, so much
spending-
concrete pad and then it goes to blacktop.
Your spinning's done in the first. area.
Right, yeah, it's right at the,
Okay.
that first part.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
what I'm trying to figure out.
Once it's rolling, then you're not gonna
You're
hurt
not
it.
tearing up in your car.
Okay.
I move to approve the request for $6,000.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Terry,
Aye.
Juanita,
Aye.
Charles,
Aye.
Lauren.
Aye.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Good luck.
The next item is remarks and inquiries by anybody on the tourism committee.
What do we need to do as far as looking at the amount?
Well, Jody will look at that.
Yeah, I'll look at it.
Okay.
We need to study it, but I'm betting it is the fact that some things were approved, but the checks haven't been issued by
I
the
think that's
city of
what it
Alva.
is. I do too. Yeah. I do too. 99%
That's what we're
sure.
gonna find.
I'll look more into it tomorrow though, I promise.
Or we should have pulled it off of this future or whatever.
Well,
You're tight
yeah.
until the checks were actually issued, maybe.
yeah, but we wouldn't really know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We know,
Where we said, yeah, you need to pay this, but,
Yeah.
yeah, I understand.
yeah, they bring
Gotcha.
them, yeah, they bring them to me to sign off on them and I sign them.
I think it'd be you.
Yeah, I sign
You
off.
sign
on
them off and, you know, I think that you're exactly right. It's just somewhere in that transfer from one stage to another. There, it's all there. You gotta find it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Maybe we adjourn. Second.
Have a motion and a second.
Juanita,
Aye.
Charles, Lauren,
Aye.
Terry.
Aye.